Hi, ever intrepid viewers. Still in a state of shock and awe. I only noticed yesterday I could actually taste food again for the first time. I actually heard some birds sing, and I realized with quiet horror, that's how it had impacted me. All my senses had shut down. They're just returning one by one. So it's having massive physiological effects all over. And guys, my heart goes out to you living with this, but here we are, ground zero. Now, since we last spoke, there's more momentum around the idea. What really went on? Because I was covering the actual the statistics and things when I was on early with Dave Johnson. And what struck me then, but it got superseded by the horror as it unfolded. But what struck me, and I'm not alone, of course, in this, was how quick it was. Vote counts weren't even complete, and suddenly he'd won 5 states in 20 minutes, and it just all went like this. Even if this had been the result, it should have taken longer to get there. And so we need to digest that. Are we deluding ourselves and just can't take in the horror? So therefore, we're looking for conspiracies? I don't think so. And well, there's reasons for that. One would be Trump himself saying you won't have to vote again. Don't worry about that. His reference to the little secret with Mike Johnson. And you can't help but feel something went on. But it's the frustration of watching the senior Democratic leadership apparently roll over, hopefully not fully. I mean, if I had been in charge of writing Kamala's concession speech, it would have been one sentence, which is this is what a stolen election actually looks like. Where are the recounts? What are they doing? What are they thinking? Let's dive in and have a look behind the scenes, first on the Dem side. They must be genuinely in shock too, but they've had 4 years to get ready for an election attempt at being stolen, let alone a successful mission. Were they not prepared? Can that be? Or are they doing something? We've got to remember Biden is still president for another 68 days or whatever it is, very long time in politics. He has all the power in the world thanks to the Supreme Court. Are they doing things behind the scenes, Dems, about this? Are things happening, or are they paralyzed and horrified and incapable of action? I don't know. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Remember that. What are the Dems doing behind the scenes? Let's check it out. Oh my goodness. Oh, my cards are upside down. Hmm. Oh, interesting. Well, I can say here, I might have to pull some clarifiers on this. This could be the Ace of Pentacles, a great windfall for the Trumpists, or indeed fool's gold. That's where I'm leading. I don't think I need clarifiers. This is people voting against themselves. let's not dwell on it. They are picking up the burden. This is a 10. It's near the end of a cycle. They're going to put the burden down somewhere. Where are they going to put the burden? Yes, of course, they're freaked out, and you guys are justifiably distraught and distressed. We'll talk more in a few minutes about how to deal with that. But look at that. King of Pentacles, which in this case represents the Yeti, up against Kamala. There's still a bit of a showdown between the two of them. I'm a bit disappointed I didn't get any legal cards per se, but I have got this. Has she got anything up her prosecutorial sleeve? Like, oh, dreadful. The other telltale sign, I think, Cash Peters mentioned this, and other people, you guys have said to me, your MAGA friends, colleagues, bosses, workmates, neighbours, partners who are MAGA files are equally stunned. Their whole shtick is grievance. They're a bit thrown now. Wouldn't that be funny? What's MAGA feeling? Why aren't they celebrating? That's something. Why aren't they celebrating? I might be missing something in the news, mind you. I'm sure there's a few beers have been had, but they're not coming out en masse and jubilant. This is kind of weird. What's happening inside MAGA? Oh, there he is. He's their guy. Queen of Wands. Oh, look, I was shuffling when I was talking. Here comes the burden card for them. Oh, we might have stumbled on something here, dear possums. King of Pentacles could be Trump, could be Elon. Don't you smell a muskrat in all of this? We'll look at him in a moment. But this is, to me, a bit more Elon than the Yeti. Queen of Wands, a sane and sensible, mature woman. This could be them turning their back on the maturity of Kamala Harris. That's their burden. How are they feeling? They're keeping it to themselves, secrets. They're keeping it to themselves, and they're still feeling a bit wounded. Well, they should, because, and I digress, is he going to bring back coal and steel? No, no, you're not going to get any more jobs out of this, MAGA people. No, 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 no. And God help you if you have a pre-existing condition, as 70% of Americans do, because that'll be gone. You see, the first time round, when he was president, because of COVID, it distorted everything. It distorted the economy, good, bad, or ugly, regardless of what he did and didn't do, everything. It was an artificial time. So people didn't get to see his economic programs play out, right? The whole world was upside down. So it's like we've got to start again, and they have to experience, and sadly, many of you will be impacted by this sort of behaviour. The price of insulin will be uncapped, will go through the roof. And you know what? Here's a flash. The price of groceries is going to go up in the next 4 years. Call me psychic. The naivety of that position is really frustrating because the prices of groceries will always go up because the cost of energy goes up, the cost of transport goes up, the cost of commercial rent goes up. Things go up inexorably. So in 4 years' time, God forbid, don't even want to say the words yet, their lives are not going to be improved. And God help the American education system in the meantime. Every classroom will have a Trump Bible made in China, and people will think that's a good idea. I mean, really, really. Now, speaking of, the Pentagon is having high-level talks, in-house talks, not without reason. They are very concerned what happens if the Yeti orders them to turn active service members against American citizens. They're worried about this. Well, I'm glad someone is. Let's go to the Pentagon. So let's have a look. How is the Pentagon going to, in any way, contain the Yeti? Let's have a look here at the Pentagon. In the article I was reading, it was saying that there is an oath and a duty. It's actually illegal to carry out an illegal order. So peeling that back, I guess it all depends on what's legal with the absolutely corrupt Supreme Court. Anyway, focus, Lena. Pentagon, what are they thinking? What are they likely to do? Let's have a look at the Pentagon. Oh, I'm very heartened by this, but it's going to be very difficult. Um, he will no doubt replace the head of everything with tame people. I'll come back to this at the end because it's crowning the reading. At the moment, they're feeling out in the cold and are very worried by this. They're struggling to see the light. They're waiting for the big stick to come down. They know that corrupt authoritarian people are going to be put in. This is not going to be a surprise for them. But look at this. For me, the star card has always been about the greatness and goodness of the American experiment at its best, not the reality, because that didn't always measure up, but the dream. And so I think one of the effects this will have on senior Pentagon players, at least while they're still there, is to distill what they're dealing with down to its purest form. In other words, as the Dems were saying, it's not about party, it's about country. They have to really search their hearts, their souls, their history, their memories. They have to stand up for what's right in any way they possibly can. Oh my goodness. Now, as I said earlier, I smell a muskrat. My niece, who's extremely technologically competent, unlike me, explained, and I think Musk was even quoted at some point as saying, all it takes is to change one line in the algorithm for those machines, one line. So let's bite the bullet and ask, was the muskrat involved? Will it be exposed? Will it be exposed? Oh my God. Okay. The muskrat. Oh, 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 I like these. Poof. We'll see. First card out, the important card for this spread, the Hierophant. In other words, the system, right? So the different arms of government, the entire system. Now, this would indicate some sort of restriction on him in some way. I don't know how or why. Let's hope they're looking. The misinformation via this Knight of Cups, the stinking fish in the cup, led to massive, massive confusion. But here, over the Hierophant, government, law and order, etc., the Strength card, and many things simultaneously coming in. It gives me a little bit of breathing space. I have to trust at this point that the Dems are not just rolling on their backs and showing their bellies. I have to believe for now that they are doing something to expose this. Oh my God. Now, quite a few of you have expressed an interest in moving. I'm not surprised. And what are the stats I wrote down here? Inquiries about moving to Canada are up 1,270%. New Zealand, 2,000%. Australia, 800%. Oh my God. But before you pack the bags and quarantine the cat, take some time, calm ourselves. We do have to calm ourselves in this time. All is not lost yet. Worst case scenario, people of light minds, people who don't run on hatred, people who care if the planet doesn't actually melt down, people of good heart. We have to band together and bond together. This is so essential now more than ever. So I think what will happen now, the right's got in just about everywhere, except the UK, except the leader, the Labor leader, might as well be a Conservative. All their economic policies are going to fail because they're all driven by this bloodlust to demonise immigrants and so forth. It's the same playbook everywhere. They're going to start to fail in the next 4 years because they're not real economic policies. Most countries are dependent on fit, younger migrants to come in and work in the system to keep us all with the standard of living we thought we had signed up for here and worked towards all our working lives, etc. Can't happen without immigration. And that message has to change. It's at the bottom of all this populist stuff. Well, guys, I'm going to go now, but I'll be back. And I'll see you very soon, within 24 hours, on Hogarth's channel. Hogarth was one who was never completely convinced about the election result, I have to say. So I'm on with Hogarth, Lady G, 7 p.m. Saturday night EST. So I'll see you over on Hogarth's. And there's a live chat. Okay. So take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye.